What happens when a living legend is targeted for death? And maybe more importantly, who stands to gain?
That's the question hanging over everything today, isn't it?
It really is. Welcome, everyone, to The Deep Dive. Today, we're plunging into some really fascinating source material. The fantasy novel, Elminster Must Die. The Sage of Shadowdale by Ed Greenwood.
That's right. And we're not just, summarizing a plot. We're really digging into the world itself. The Forgotten Realms setting, high magic, complex palace politics, ancient grudges. It's all here.
And the figure at the center of it all, the legend himself, Elminster, the Sage of Shadowdale. So our mission basically is to try and untangle all these layers. There's deception, betrayal, alliances you wouldn't expect. We want to sort out the rumors from the reality.
Figure out who's really trying to kill Elminster and why, and what the fallout is for the whole kingdom of Cormyr.
And Cormyr and Faerun generally. The source paints it as a land under constant threat, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. You've got undead armies over in Thay, scheming dark elves down below, these terrifying aboleths causing chaos, even the Empire of Netheril and their flying cities making trouble. It's relentless.
But it's also a land of heroes. And Elminster, he's like the ultimate hero figure, right? The old mage, chosen of Mystra, stood against darkness for what, over 1,000 years?
That's a very long time, yeah. But the question the book poses is even he invincible? And why does suddenly everyone seem to want him dead?
It's a great hook. So where does it start, this Elminster Must Die idea?
Well, it starts pretty directly, actually, with an order. You've got this group, Garand and his Bloodshield's band. These are hardened adventurers. They get paid a lot, promised even more, just to go to Shadowdale and kill Elminster. Simple as that. Or so they think.
Okay, so they march in expecting magic fireworks, a big fight.
Probably something like that.
Yeah.
Instead, the source describes Elminster appearing as, let me get this right, a stout, broad-shouldered old man, blinking at them past a fearsome beak of a nose. He's talking in this shaky voice, seems almost scared.
Ha, seriously, not exactly the image of an archmage.
Not at all. Garand is completely unimpressed. He even tells him something like, our spear would look better with your head on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. So it's a setup, or is Elminster genuinely diminished?
Well, that's the thing. It looks like he's diminished, and that image, that perception, is crucial. It fools Garand, but it also seems to have fooled people high up in Cormyr.
Ah, okay. So let's shift there. Cormyr, the palace and Suzail, what's happening?
Utter paranoia, basically. You've got the royal magician, Ganrahast, and his number 2, Vainrance. They are freaking out because a super important royal treasure, the royal gorget of battle, has vanished right out of its magically protected cave.
Wards and all, and it's just gone.
Gone. And who do they immediately blame?
Let me guess. Elminster.
Bingo. Elminster, again, is literally what they think. They're convinced he's become this old dodderer who's somehow responsible for the theft, and maybe even for murdering some Cormyrian knights and wizards, too.
Wait, murders as well. They really think he's turned into some kind of senile kleptomaniac killer.
It sounds crazy. But yeah, that's the level of suspicion. They are absolutely ready to take him down, legend or no legend.
Okay, so this tension has to break somewhere. How does it come to a head?
It explodes violently. At this ruined fortress, Tethgard, Elminster's there with Storm Silverhand. She's his adoptive sister, and also the symbol.
The Witch Queen of Aglarond. I thought she was.
Yeah, she's another chosen of Mystra, Storm's sister.
Yeah.
But she's deep in this state of madness, very unstable. And suddenly, Cormyrian forces attack them, led by a commander Kelgantor and a war wizard named Shuldrun.
And Elminster's group is just defending themselves?
Pretty much. Elminster actually tries to destroy the stolen royal gorget they brought with them, but something unexpected happens. All its stored magic floods into the symbol.
Ooh, what does that do?
It snaps her back to sanity, temporarily anyway, and restores her full, terrifying power. Elminster warns the attackers off, tells them to leave, but they press the attack.
Bad move.
Very bad move. The Force describes this deafening storm of hissing spells. The ground shakes. Tethgard basically erupts. Knights get thrown around like dolls. Commander Kelgantor gets decapitated by flying debris.
Ouch.
And the symbol, lucid and powerful, just raises her hands and unleashes these countless swords of force. It sounds absolutely horrific, cuts through the soldiers, just chaos and death.
Jeez. So a total disaster for the Cormyrians.
Completely. Storm reflects later that Elminster used up his last magic item, just keeping them alive through the initial blast.
Yeah.
And the official report back at the palace?
Let me guess. Mysterious evil wizards attacked our brave boys.
You're good at this. Yeah, pretty much a total whitewash, blaming unspecified fell wizards who somehow overwhelmed their vastly outnumbered forces. Classic cover-up.
Okay, but who's really behind orchestrating all this? It can't just be palace paranoia.
Now we get to the puppet master, an ancient, very powerful archwizard named Manshoon. You might know him as the former Night King of Westgate. He's the one pulling the strings.
Manshoon. Okay, I know the name. What's his end game here?
Conquest, basically. Cormyr, other places. But his personal goal, his obsession, he wants to be the one to finally kill Elminster.
So he's setting Elminster up to be taken down by Cormyr, maybe weakening both sides?
Exactly. And his methods, they're subtle. He actually boasts about it, saying his way is better than Cormyr's mind-dreaming spells.
Mind-dreaming. Sounds unpleasant.
It is, like a forced psychic interrogation. But Manshoon implies it's crude and maybe even unreliable now after the spell plague messed with magic. He prefers influence, suggestion.
Okay, like how? Give me an example.
Well, he subtly twists one of the survivors of that Tethgard battle, a war wizard named Vorscrin Meryldrake, sees him as a weak tool, but useful. And he even controls a Death Knight, Lady Dark Armor or Targrail, getting her inside the palace itself. He sort of enjoys riding her coldly malicious mind, as the source puts it.
Creepy. So he's infiltrating the palace using their own people, or worse.
Precisely. It's not just about power. It's about undermining trust, making them doubt everyone around them. Very effective.
Okay, Manshoon's working the high-level magic angle. But there's more going on, right? Something about ambitious nobles?
Oh, yeah. Enter Marlin Stormsilverhand. Young, very ambitious, extremely arrogant, Cormyrian noble.
Yeah.
He thinks the current rulers, the Obarskirs, are weak. He's holding secret meetings, plotting a coup with other disgruntled young nobles.
Standard ambitious noble stuff, maybe.
Well, he has a particularly nasty tool at his disposal, something he calls his blue flame ghosts.
Blue flame ghosts. Okay, that sounds intriguing. What are they?
They have this dark backstory. They're actually adventurers, part of a group called the Nine, who got trapped inside magic items like a dagger, a chalice, a hand axe over 100 years ago.
Trapped, like their souls.
It seems like it. And when Marlin releases them, they're wreathed in this eerie blue fire, hence the name. And they're totally compelled killers. Ruthless. Two of them, Trith Allanter and Relv Langrel, are basically Marlin's personal assassins.
So he just points them at rivals and boom!
Pretty much. He uses Langrel and Hallanter to kill off guys like Lord Sesgar Huncrown, spreads fear, confusion, helps his plans, and lets him test how well he controls these things. The source says they'll kill anyone who gets in their way, even for giving a bad answer if no one's watching.
Yikes. That's a terrifying weapon for someone like Marlin.
You'd think he has complete control, right? But then comes a twist. Marlin tries to get another ghost out of a hand axe he has.
Does he get another super assassin?
Nope. He frees this old, stout fellow named Mert. Turns out Mert is a Lord of Waterdeep, not one of the Nine, and definitely not compelled. He's completely himself.
Wait, really? How did he get in an axe? Well, never mind that now. What does Mert do?
He's incredibly calm, sees the situation, draws his dagger, slices Marlin's coin purses right off his belt, takes the axe too, and just leaves. While Marlin's bodyguards are bleeding on the floor, unconscious from trying to subdue Mert earlier.
That's brilliant. Marlin must have been furious and baffled.
Utterly baffled, yeah. It shows that even Manshoon's grand plans, filtered through pawns like Marlin, can hit snags. Things aren't always predictable.
No kidding. Okay, so while Manshoon is manipulating things and Marlin is stumbling around with his ghost slaves, what about the people actually trying to protect Cormyr? Or Elminster himself? We started with him looking like a daughterer.
Right, that perception is still out there. But Elminster's real focus, it's huge. He wants to save the realms, as always, but more immediately, he needs to heal the symbol. Her madness is linked to her magic being depleted physically and, well, magically.
But you said Elminster himself is weaker now.
He is, significantly, both magically and physically. He even admits it, saying something like, I can't save the realms anymore, not alone. With Mystra gone and the weave damaged, he just doesn't have the raw power he used to. He has to work differently.
So who is helping him if he's weakened and everyone thinks he's the bad guy?
Well, this is where some really unexpected allies come in. First off, inside the palace itself, there's a ghost.
A ghost, like a helpful ghost.
Very helpful. Princess Alusair. She was the Steel Regent, like a century ago. Died in the palace, haunts a specific wing, but she is fiercely loyal to the crown of Cormyr.
So she sees what's going on, the plotting, the paranoia.
Exactly. She becomes an invaluable source of intel. She watches everything, reports back, and even helps Elminster and Storm navigate the palace's secret passages. She's affected by magic sometimes. Seems to cause her pain, but she sticks with it. She can even track them when they're carrying magic items.
Wow, a royal ghost spy. Okay, who else?
Then there's Lord Arklaf Delcastle. At first glance, he seems like a total fop, just interested in fashion, flirting, secret rendezvous in hidden rooms.
Doesn't sound like hero material.
You wouldn't think so. But he's actually quite loyal to the crown deep down. He kind of stumbles into the conspiracy when some of his friends are murdered, part of Marlin's scheming, maybe, or Manshoon's. That wakes him up to the real danger.
And he gets involved how?
He starts looking out for this young woman, Amaroon. He sort of takes her under his wing protectively. And that connection turns out to be really important.
Amaroon Whitewave, she's the dancer, right?
And a thief, that's her, known as the Silent Shadow.
Yeah.
Very skilled masked dancer,
Yeah.
which is kind of performance art, but also a very talented thief. She initially gets drawn in just by eavesdropping on nobles, picking up useful tidbits, practical.
Okay, a dancer thief. Interesting. How does she connect with Elminster?
This is the big shocker. Elminster eventually finds her and reveals he's her great-grandfather.
What? Seriously, how does she take that?
She's stunned, maybe even a little annoyed, honestly.
Yeah.
Her whole worldview is very practical, very grounded, dealing with thieves, nobles, information brokering. Suddenly, she's related to this ancient wizard with world-saving problems. It's a clash.
I can imagine. So, you got this weird team forming. A weakened Elminster, Storm, a ghost princess, a loyal fop, and a newly discovered great-granddaughter thief. How do they even move around the palace with everyone hunting Elminster?
Cleverly. Elminster and Storm use these old disguises. They call them Rolligan disguises. They pose as an old stone repairman named Elgorn and his sister Stornara, blending in.
From archmage to handyman.
Pretty much. Plus, Elminster knows that palace inside out. All the secret passages, hidden caches of magic he stashed away centuries ago. And Storm is incredibly stealthy, good at slipping through chaos.
Okay, so they're sneaking around, gathering info, trying to figure out who's doing what. Does it lead to a confrontation?
It leads to a hasty escape. They end up cornered near something called the Dalestride Portal. Cormyrian forces are closing in.
Trap.
Looks like it. But Elminster uses his ancient knowledge of the palace's wards. He doesn't break them, he redirects them. He makes it so a room or a passage suddenly connects somewhere else entirely.
Like teleporting the attackers?
Sort of. He basically sends the soldiers running off into other random parts of the palace, creates total confusion. He jokes that some of them are about to wind up rather wet, maybe sending them into the sewers or something.
Nice. A chaotic escape, but effective. But Elminster's still facing this decline, right? This choice.
Yeah, that weighs on him heavily. His strength, magical and physical, is failing. And he's torn. Heal the symbol, his love. Or focus on the bigger picture, save the realms. He agonizes over it. The land, or my lady. It's a terrible choice for him.
And does he make a discovery that pushes him one way or the other?
While they're exploring the palace crypts, they find someone else trapped there. Vingerdahast.
The former royal magician, Elminster's apprentice.
The very same, or what's left of him. He's this wraith-like being now, betrayed and sealed away years ago, and he confirms there's a schemer tied to Manshoon operating right there in the palace. It reinforces how deep the rot goes.
Wow. Finding his old apprentice like that, what happens next? This sounds like a turning point.
It absolutely is. It leads to this profound moment of transformation, maybe sacrifice. Elminster, in his weakened state, reveals that as ashes, his essence can ride a willing host.
As ashes. He has to die first. Or what?
It's more like his physical form is failing, dissolving almost. And after this draining encounter in the crypt, his essence flows into Amaroon. She becomes his host.
Into Amaroon. His great-granddaughter, so he possesses her.
It seems more like a merging, maybe. The source says she faints, but when she wakes up, she has Elminster's eyes that danced with joy. It's not depicted as hostile. It's presented as him passing on his legacy, his fight.
Whoa. So that's how the legacy continues, not through power passed down, but through inhabitation. That completely reshapes Amaroon's future.
Instantly. From dancer and thief to the vessel for the Sage of Shadowdale's fight to save the realms, it's a massive, unforeseen shift.
But the threats don't just vanish, right? Manshoon's still out there. Marlin's still plotting.
Definitely. Manshoon's still playing his long game. He actually seems to view Marlin as disposable now, a young fool doomed by his own ambitions, useful for causing chaos like a wild arrow, but destined to be brought down.
So Marlin's days might be numbered, even if he doesn't know it?
Seems likely. And his plans were already a bit shaky after Mert just walked away with his money and his magic axe. But yeah, he's still active, still trying to undermine the Oparskiers.
And the actual Cormyrian rulers and wizards, are they getting any closer to figuring out who the real enemy is?
Not really, it seems. They're still reacting, trying to manage the crisis inside their own walls, mostly unaware that Manshoon is the one orchestrating so much of it. It's chaos, and they're often fighting shadows or the wrong targets.
So looking back on this whole deep dive, what stands out the most?
For me, it's the layers of perception versus reality. How a legend's reputation can be twisted, how paranoia can blind people in power.
Yeah, and the sheer unexpectedness of things. The truth about the nine, these supposedly legendary figures being slaves.
Right, and the power of hidden players like Alusair the Ghost, or the loyalty found in someone like Arklath, who seemed like just a fop.
And of course the ending. That transfer of legacy from Elminster to Amaroon, from this ancient known figure to a relative nobody on the world stage, it's quite something.
It really underscores how much of the world's fate in these stories doesn't happen in the big, obvious battles. It's in the subtle moves, the hidden loyalties, the courage of individuals you might overlook.
It makes you realize that even the most powerful figures aren't invincible. And maybe the greatest strength lies in unexpected people stepping up.
Absolutely. So maybe the final thought for you listening is this. In a world where even ancient heroes like Elminster can fade, become ashes, what does carrying on a legacy truly mean?
Is it just about inheriting power? Or is it something else?
Maybe it's more about the willingness to step into a role you never expected, to embrace a destiny no matter how strange or unforeseen, because it's about protecting the world you know. What does that look like, really?